Hi Bangkok Foodies, we're here at the Nai Lert Park and today we're going to check out the Nai Lert Butler. Are you ready to have a look? Let's go.
Why do you think there is a need to have a butlers today?
Great question. The need to have butlers today is people are busy. They have these fabulous homes, apartments, super yachts, planes, etc., etc. And they need to have somebody to look after all of that luxury service. They haven't got time. So we're here to fill that gap and make sure that they can enjoy the things they have.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions about butlers?
Butlers, well, one of them is a lot of people think they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
They don't exist anymore, which is great because it's a very niche market and it's growing tremendously. There's never been a better time to be a butler.
Right, that's interesting, especially now here in Thailand, Bangkok. We're finding that there is great service in terms of smile and feel good, but in terms of elevating the professional service, you think it's needing and that there is a market here for it?
Well, let me say, it's not just in Bangkok or in Thailand, it's all over the world. What we've got good people serving, but we need to bring it to a different level. You know, it's just not good enough to have a smile on your face anymore. We're finding that, clients want a great experience. Now, if you want a great experience, you've got to be highly trained and you've got to know what to do to create those experiences.
In terms of the history of the butler, could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the history of the butler it dates back to ancient Roman Greece, where we were basically running after the emperors with just the wines and the drinks. Recent history, back 200-300 years, we are working for the noble families, looking after the wines, but also looking after the dining, as we're going to be doing today. Looking after dining, make sure it's as it should be. And then we've progressed, as the modern butler has, into doing many things for our principals. Cooking, mixology, flowers, chauffeuring. So we do many skills today. So the butler has developed over hundreds of years into the modern butler of today.
So, I love this outfit, by the way, and also, why is it so important to have this certain attire for the butler?
Well, look, this is here for more show. Um, I probably wouldn't be wearing this in a hot climate. So every every part of the world has different uniforms for different butlers. If I'm working in the Caribbean, I'm probably in Bermuda shorts, deck shoes, and a nice polo shirt. We don't always look like this.
So today, what will you be training us through?
What we're going to do today is just have a simple look at food delivery, see how it's done. I might have a few comments. This is British and international standard. However, let me say that every client is different. So if I'm working for a client that wants it done differently, we'll do it differently, but make sure it's done beautifully. So here we have the first course, and napkin is presented. Thank you. So, okay, good. Now, what's happened here is he's told us what it is, and now I would say that we need to know a little bit more about it. I would definitely say that. The dressing as well, I don't quite know what's in that dressing, so I'd need to know what it is. He could have said to me as well, may I? He could have presented the dressing. Also, what he could have done is delivered it, and he hasn't done it on purpose because he can't get through, but all food is delivered from the left in this way because this is my drinking arm. So he wouldn't be delivering that side, but obviously he's done that because of the microphone. Um, and I would say presentation looks amazing, and I would be eating from the outside in. Excuse me, outside in, and I'm ready to eat. I've got my napkin now. Obviously, you saw the napkin was um, presented before I eat. That's very important. Sometimes forgotten. Um, and you can deliver napkins from either side, from the left or the right.
Why is it so necessary to have all these details? Let's say not just having one standard fork and knife and spoon, and why is this absolutely necessary? You think?
Well, look, it's necessary to have this because otherwise, what do we eat? With our hands? Maybe some countries do. But we set it up so that we have the starter. This looks like another starter, which is the soup, and then we have the main course. So everything is there. It's a standard, international standard, and it's set properly. We have the side knife as well. Things are here so that I can enjoy my meal. If it's not here, I'm going to be saying, excuse me, and then the experience is going to dip off.
Right.
And may I say something else as well? I could be in China. I could be in Thailand. I could be in Hong Kong. If the clients want it done differently, we'll do it differently, but it's going to be done beautifully.
Now, thanks to the magic of video, I've changed positions, as you can see, so that way the server can serve me and you can have a closer look, and Gary can explain. So, Gary, do you mind to talk us through the next course?
So what we're seeing here is we're seeing a soup, so it's a second starter, which is traditional, I guess, for Thailand, which is wonderful. And, of course, you're going to use your soup spoon over here, and it's going to come in from your left. So let's see how it goes.
Anticipation. Yes, you may. Merci.
Good. Now, what's happened here is you've got that wonderful soup in front of you, and it does look delicious, I must say. However, it's been done on purpose here so that we can see what we shouldn't have done in terms of the presentation of that soup bowl. So what we're seeing here is we're seeing a lot of soup coming down the sides. So that happens in service where the staff are not paying attention to every detail. Fingerprints on glasses, fingerprints on knives and forks. Apart from that, lovely. We should also, with soup, be having something like bread, which would have been on the table by now, butters. Perhaps if we're in Italy, we could have olive oils. So essentially good. And we'll be using the soup spoon. That's the soup spoon there. And as we eat, we would be moving away from us when we eat.
Okay.
So we actually take the soup like that, and we bring it up to, and we see from the side. We actually eat soup from the side, not from the front.
Oh, that's very interesting. Is this the etiquette thing?
It's the etiquette side of things. So we do.
It doesn't make a difference on the taste, obviously.
You know what? It doesn't make too much of a difference on the taste, no. But it makes sure we don't get soup all down our wonderful blouse.
Especially the white blouse, which I selected today. Very smart. So just interesting. So when you're training, you do create scenarios, incorrect scenarios for your students to pick up.
Well, what we do is we'll create the perfect setting, and we'll tell them what not to do and what to look out for. Can I say something? The biggest mistake made for any dining, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the biggest mistake is the condiments aren't on the table before the meal arrives. For example, have you had scrambled egg in the morning in the restaurant, and then you have to say, excuse me, can I have the sauce? And then they bring over the sauce. Things are always missing here. They forget. And then you get frustrated. Where's the mint sauce for the lamb? Where's the gravy for the beef? That's a good tip to have.
Well, in Thailand, actually, when you go to a noodle shop, let's say, all the condiments are already there.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're one step ahead of us because...
I don't think you need a butler, though, in the noodle shop.
No butlers for noodle shops.
Depends what kind of noodle shop. It could be a Michelin noodle shop in Thailand, right?
It could. I mean, look, it's not just what's on the table, of course, how the table's set, how to serve. And to know what you're serving, that's another thing. What are we serving today? Where are the ingredients from? Important.
That's very important. I find in a lot of cases, when they're serving you, they just tell you what it is, but not anything more than that. And I'd love to know more.
You know, you're so right. People want an experience.
Yeah.
So when they put down crab soup, where's the crab from? Where, you know, is it a signature dish? What is it?
Bravo. That's why you're doing what you're doing. So the next course is coming up now?
Well, let's see what we have here.
Let's see.
Wonderful. Look at that presentation. Just gorgeous, gorgeous. Good. I like the way that the captain has told us what it is. Sea bass. We now know what we're going to eat. I perhaps would have said where the sea bass is from, if I know. Sometimes we don't know where it's from, which is great. And then we have the fish knife and the fish fork. Very important to have the correct cutlery.
Okay. Fish knife.
That's the fish knife. So.
And why is the fish knife in this particular shape?
Well, the fish knife is that shape because it has a larger blade to peel the fish from the bone. It's been designed specially for that.
What are some of the most interesting cases or strange or funny cases that you've experienced as a butler?
You know, it's a very good question. Many, many funny experiences, of which 90% I can't share.
No.
But
Cut. No, I'm kidding.
Essentially,
Uncensored version.
essentially, you know, you're always surprised and delighted by many circumstances you're in. I do have a story about a dog called Pugsy, which is a pug. Those little cute dogs, men in black, you know, the pugs.
Yeah.
And a client of mine, she once said to me, she said, Gary, my Pugs is homesick. And we had to get a helicopter to fly Puggy back home. And that was, it was funny. We had a great time doing it.
Did you fly Puggy yourself?
No, we got a helicopter and one of the butlers took Pugsy home. How she knew Pugsy was homesick, I have no idea.
Telepathy.
But you know, you don't question it. It is what it is. And so, whatever situation we're in, we deal with it professionally and make sure that they feel comfortable and they
That's
feel
your
relaxed.
job. Lastly, if you could point out the top 3 points to, let's say, to be a great butler, what would you say?
I've got 4 for you today.
Four.
Top things. There's many skills you need, but the 4 main ingredients: consistency, anticipation, attention to small details, and listen and act. Now, those are modules in its own right. So we teach how to do that.
Okay, great. So, in terms of being trained by you, how could Bangkok foodies out there, or anyone that wants to learn the butler service, how would we go about that?
Well, thank you very much for asking that. Nai Lert Butler Academy is here in Bangkok, Thailand, at Nai Lert Park. It is incredible in terms of the area, the space, the training facilities. Get hold of them, and there's a website. There's a website, of course, and enjoy the courses.
Thank you very much, and I had a great day with you today. Wadika.